The 18-26 Washington Wizards came to Madison Square Garden Wednesday night to take on the 25-20 New York Knicks, and the storyline everyone knew to follow was the return of Wizards forward Kristaps Porzingis to the Garden, where he played his first several years in the NBA as a Knickerbocker. After missing the previous 5 games with a hamstring injury, Wizards star Bradley Beal made his return to the lineup, and the Wizards made some magic happen early with Porzingis having a perfect 3-for-3 start from the floor for 8 first-quarter points. It felt like every Wizard was hot from downtown, and the Knicks players were as cold as could be. Kuzma began to heat up to end that first quarter after having 40 points in his previous matchup against New York, and he finished the first quarter of action with 10 points. The Knicks went on in the second quarter to eat a bit into that Washington lead as R.J. Barrett began the quarter with an assist and 2 scores. The Wizards kept things pushing thanks to contributions from Porzingis, Kuzma, and Deni Avdija to end the first half up 8 points over the Knicks. Brunson, Barrett, and Grimes finished the half in double digits in the scoring column as New York won the second quarter by 5 points, trying to keep themselves in this one. Knicks starting center Mitchell Robinson came out in the first half with a hand injury, and the team quickly announced he would not be returning to the contest. Stephen Bondy of the New York Daily News reported that the team feared a UCL tear for Robinson, which could require him to be sidelined for about a month of play. Coming into Wednesday, New York was 1-13 in games in which they had trailed at halftime, which did not bode well at all for their chances of a second-half comeback, especially considering they were now without their best interior presence in Robinson. The team was kept afloat in the third quarter by Jalen Brunson, who reached the 30-point threshold while there was still 14 minutes of game time remaining. The Knicks saw a semblance of momentum begin to develop to end the third quarter and kept it going into the fourth, which began with an and one from Emmanuel Quickley and a highlight alley-oop from Deuce McBride to Jericho Sims, which fully rejuvenated the home crowd. Quickley made his way to 15 total points halfway through the fourth quarter against his hometown team, but New York was too weighed down by the scoring of the forward tandem of Porzingis and Kuzma, who had 22 points each as 6 minutes still remained in the contest, to truly mount a comeback. Bradley Beal, who had 16 points in his first 23 minutes, didn't even need to play much as Washington rolled to a relatively smooth road victory with their roster at full strength now. The Knicks went small to end the game due to losing Mitchell Robinson in the middle of it and kept Emmanuel Quickley in with that starting lineup, essentially deploying Barrett at the 4 and Randle at the 5 to give the team the best chance to score points. And despite doing just that, not much momentum was built by the Knicks to end the game. The final score was Washington 116, New York 105 in this one, as Kyle Kuzma was once again Washington's leading scorer against the Knickerbockers, finishing this one with 27 points. Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau said after the game that Mitchell Robinson's hand issue was a sprain and it would be evaluated further tomorrow. In regards to who might see the start at center with Robinson out, Thibodeau had this to say.
Well, I want to think and see more, think it through in terms of what's best for both groups, what will make us function best. And both guys have gone back and forth, so we'll get a chance to look at it deeper and then make a decision.
Thanks. The Knicks traveled down to Atlanta to take on the Hawks, who are an even 22-22 as of right now. New York surrendered a double-digit lead to Atlanta and allowed them to come back and win in the Garden earlier in the season, leaving expectations high for Friday's matchup. To stay covered all season long with the New York Knicks, stay tuned to WFUV Sports across all of its social channels for the best coverage on the Knicks, Nets, and around the National Basketball Association.